So we're in a situation here where you guys know far more than almost anyone in Washington now knows about the dangers of genetically engineered foods. You may have known a lot about this before you came. How many people have seen the movie Genetic Roulette? All right, so most of you. So that's the fastest conversion tool for behavior change. What's happening now is very interesting. We're at a completely different position than we were when I started 17 years ago, and a completely different position than we were a year ago. In fact, the failure of Prop 37 ignited the whole country to say, what? It was a collective, what? And 37 states got organized, 26 of them introduced legislation or a ballot initiative for labeling. It's like, what up, California? And like, I want to say, we hope that Washingtonians are smarter than Californians because they fell for the lies in California. At least 51% of them did. But people are getting more educated and more alerted and changing their diet by the millions. We have non-GMOshoppingguide.com and an iPhone application, Shop No GMO, more than 1 million users. In fact, the group of foods that expanded more than any other last year was non-GMO labeled products. Increased 26% in sales. Target's going to have their home brand non-GMO in 2014. Ben & Jerry's by 2014. Chipotle's as soon as they can find non-GMO soy. There is a huge tipping point underway. We have tipped the natural food industry. If it hadn't tipped before March, when Whole Foods said it was going to require labeling, and then announced to the press that when a product becomes non-GMO project verified, it increases sales by 15 to 30%. Those who didn't become non-GMO are thinking, where have all the market shares gone? Long time. So it's like they're wondering, oh my God, I'm so late to the game. So hundreds of companies are rushing. We're about to have the big showdown in the aisles of Walmart and Safeway when a non-health food brand becomes non-GMO. The clock starts ticking. So what's happening with I-522, the timing is amazing because what you're doing is you're pouring gasoline on an existing fire. People are already aware by droves about the dangers of GMOs. Now, a tipping point does not require 51%. A vote does. So the strategy is different. But they're really helping each other. All the non-GMO eaters that realize, I don't want to go near this stuff, they're here in this room. They're part of your volunteer force. You watch Genetic Roulette and says, where do I sign? What can I do? Then those who are working for educating the consumers about labeling, it also inspires people to say, well, what's up with GMOs? Why would I be concerned about them? They follow through and go, oh my God, I've been putting that in my children's bodies? Maybe that explains this disease or this disorder. And then you have, as my dear friend Pam says, the victory. What's on the other side of a victory for a labeling bill? The tipping point on steroids. That's your words. Because 53% of Americans say they would avoid GMOs if labeled. I personally believe and hope that the companies would rather remove GMOs than admit that they use them. Now, in reality, if there's an avalanche against GMOs in the United States, you'd have Nestle's and Unilever and all these companies removing GMOs here like they already did in Europe in 1999. And what happened in 1999 to all those prices? Nothing. No increase in prices for consumers. The same company that's been selling non-GMO stuff over there and GMO stuff over here will simply tell the supply chain, now we want non-GMO soy and corn, so they'll grow more seeds in South America, they'll grow them in the spring of 2014, and by the harvest of 2014, we'll probably see Cargill and ADM create massive corn wet mill plants to be totally non-GMO. Same with the soy plants, totally non-GMO. So they're going to flood, they're going to have a whole new wave of non-GMO soy and corn derivatives so that the companies can still use even the same ingredients that they're using. They don't have to change their recipes. Just to accommodate us. Because we're at the top of the food chain. Because we, at this point, are waking up and saying, we don't really want the FDA or Monsanto to dictate to us what is food. And we certainly don't want it to dictate to our children. Because we have learned that these corporations and organizations do not have our best interest at heart.